Hello everyone, Monk Gaming here, and thank you for checking out this video of Joy of Programming. I can actually point here with my mouse. Software Engineering Simulator. This is not my computer screen, as much as I probably fooled about zero of you. But this is kind of the intro here of it, so it's kind of cool. So if you like Python, we'll go ahead and hit start here. I did already play this once because I couldn't help myself. So I will delete the code and then we'll go over it all again. So we'll start off on tutorial. What was I saying? I'm an old guy. I can't remember what I was saying. Hello, brain. Well, anyways, if you like, oh, I remember what I was saying. Oh, you goose. All right. So if you like programming, this is Python. So I don't know if you know anything about Python, but that's what this is about. So I always heard mixed things. Python is a good one to learn, and then Python, some people say you shouldn't learn Python as a start. I'm still kind of new, I guess, to programming. It's really loud. Let me turn that down. So I'm actually new to programming still. I would say I'm still the beginner, intermediate area. But yeah, so if I do anything wrong, and I'm sure there's better ways to do it, I'll be honest with you, a lot of my stuff was probably jank. So if you see something, you know, just keep in mind I'm not the greatest programmer. And I'm definitely still on the newer end of Python. That being said, let's finally jump into it here. So pan the camera, so use WASD for the camera. Move mouse, that's zooming in with your middle mouse button. I clicked things, I didn't mean to click it. Right mouse button to help you rotate. Left mouse button is just clicking. So the goals is click on the delivery container, open the delivery container door. Now currently I can't code, so I'll have to actually click on the door to hit open. Oh yeah, now I click on the conveyor belt. There, we clicked on the conveyor belt. This is wanting us to increase the speed. Let's increase the speed to 5. Set. Get this going. There we go. There's the box. Now close the door. Go ahead and hit close door here. I seen in the trailer in the trailer that they was able to code that to operate it, but I can't click on that, and when I click finish it's just shooting me to the next thing, so I don't know. The infamous hello word program in Python. Print hello world to screen. Yeah, that's it, sorry. Print, a predefined function that we can use. Print does exactly what the name implies. Prints stuff onto the screen. We call or invoke a function with round brackets. Inside we can write a literal string. To be printed, we need to surround it with the quotation marks. Like quotation mark hello world here. Or we can also print the contents of a variable. We omit the question marks in this case, or put a number inside the function. The same concept applies to other functions as well, though they might have different or more parameters. Alright, so now we can click on this little coding window, and this pulls up our coding window. This is me already doing this. Let me go and clear that quick. So you can read the little green here, and this will kind of tell you a little more about the coding within itself. Change the code to set the conveyor's target speed to greater than 0, and then run the code. Set the target speed of the conveyor belt. Positive variables for forward, negative for backwards. 0 means stop. Okay, so pretty much this is stating if you want the conveyor belt to go backwards, you'll put a negative, say like -1, and then I'll start hitting backwards at whatever speed this one is, so if it's 1 miles an hour or what. But we need to go greater than 0 because the arrow is pointing forward towards positive. That's how I always look at it. So I can technically put that on 1, or I can put it on 5 like I did the other one. Let's hit play. So it's going to print hello world. It's going to wait 1 second because there's your timer right here, which we kind of ran across. I don't know if I set it all or if I cut all that crap out. I might actually cut it all out in the future, but yeah, that's it. So what is that? Number 2 done. 4 loops. This is a for loop that runs exactly 100 times. I indicates the current instruction number 0 to 99. Note the indentation, so how it is pushed, how it's pushed over from the fork. Spacing is Those boxes are going crazy. Let me pause that. Okay, inside. Notice the indentation. So where the S is underneath the I instead of underneath the F. Spacing is very important when it comes to coding. We increment our current value of S by the current value of I. So as I was saying, this is spaced underneath 4. So if it was right over here with 4, then it would actually give you an error, because spacing is very important. And I've never understood for loops. That's something I was trying to learn, and it's very useful for later, but I kind of found an alternate route that's kind of crummy. But as you can see, that I is keeping count. It's going to go all the way to 100, and then S is S plus equals I. So S plus I think. So let's see, it wants me to use speed up. So let's speed up. Let's restart the simulator. Thank. Let's go ahead and pause the simulator. So we need to burn 5 boxes. Let me see. So this is saying all conveyor belts is equaling conveyor belt find all. So this is actually going to find all of our conveyor belts. So if we hit this right now, as soon as it reaches this point, see, it found all of the conveyor belts. So I want to try something. So for comms and conveyor belt are all conveyors. So for all the conveyor belts and all conveyors that are found, I want to set the toggle speed to 5. Let's see if that works. Look at that. So I'll show you the other way that I did it, which completely bypassed the for loops, but that's very interesting. Like I said, I'm still a newbie and I am learning as we record this. So we might go ahead and pause this real quick because we know that will work. And let me show you what I did. So let's go ahead and delete this. I pretty much bypassed it. And what I did was I did an if statement. So I said, okay, well, I kept it. There you go. I kept it there underneath print the conveyors, because it might, we'll leave it over here. Let's see what happens. It might give us an error, but I did if all comms equal conveyor belt. I'll copy and paste equals true. Then I did, I forgot to put a semicolon. So you'll get, that's stating that that's the end. And then now I'm ready to put it in underneath this if statement. Then I put it as comms dot set target speed. And then you got to do your little brackets there. And then you can set the speed. So none of the belts are running currently as of this moment. So I just hit play, nothing's running. But when I run the statement, oh, I did something wrong. Oh, sorry, I need to actually say equals equals. So it stated that all of them were true, but it's not. I did something wrong. So I think I know what I did wrong. So you see how only one's running. That's because my if statement is underneath here. So if I put it underneath here, which is underneath the print all, so we'll go ahead and tab over that, because that has to still be underneath this. If this is underneath here, it will fail. So let me reset. Now let's try it again. There we go. All the belts are working. So I kind of just overdid the for loop, which the for loop was obviously easier, and I'm glad I figured that out. So let's go ahead and set this up how it's supposed to be yet again. And now this is how it's supposed to be. And we'll go ahead and finish this mission. And I'm pretty sure you can set in your code for your game to speed up or even slow down or stop, because it is stating here on the bottom right, set time dilation. So you can definitely do that. That's that one done. Let's move on to the next one. So import random. A equals random dot random. If A is less than 0.5, print heads. Else, print tails. So we are doing an if else statement here. So this is just stating it's going to flip a coin. If the number is less than 5, it's going to print heads. If it's higher than 5, then it'll print tails. We draw a continuous uniform random number between 0 and 1. So if A is less than 0.5, print heads. If A is greater than 0.5, print tails. So 0.1 is less than 0.5, and 0.7 is greater than 5. So we get the point here, right? Now what it wants us to do is to select the laser. So it wants us to click the RFID tag, returns the RFID tag of the entity currently hit by this rangefinder, returns empty string if nothing is hit or target has no RFID tag. So it says scanner, that's the rangefinder, and then it says tag equals scanner. So that's just saying that the scanner is going to go as tag. And then it says if tag equals, which means it has to equal capital BOX as the code would imply, then it would print it's a box. So it wants us to go ahead and click that, so we will click it. So now we need to move boxes and barrels. So we'll go ahead and click that. We'll open up our code here. So this is saying our conveyor belt is stating as conveyor or conv, whatever you want to say that, and then our RFID scanner is going to be registered as scanner. You can read all this stuff. So this is stating this is like the main area where you're going to put a lot of your code. This down here, we'll say this first right here. So tag equals scanner, get RFID tag. Okay, so that's just saying whenever this is now considered as tag, that's its name. So its name is going to be tag. This right here has nothing to do with the string that we're about to, or the code that we're about to write. It messed me up earlier for some reason, or whenever I first tried this. So what I personally like to do, first of all, I'll delete all this crap. We don't need it. Well, we'll actually need this, because this is information, but we don't really need it. So it's just telling us that, you know, -2 is going to go to box, and then +2 would go to barrel. Let's just kind of give us the direction of which way it's going. So now what we'll do is we'll do an if statement. So we know that it's called tag. So we'll say if space tag equals space your brackets and then your quotations here, because it's a string, which we'll get in that later, but pretty much it's a word. We'll say box capital BOX because that's how they register it as. Enter. Oh, I didn't do my colons there. Enter, and now conv dot set target speed, your brackets, and we can go see -2.0. So then you can break out of this and you go back underneath, I can't speak now. You can go underneath, am I saying that right? Type else, bracket, or not bracket, sorry, the commas, colons, enter, and then you can say the same thing to 2.0. So what this is stating is that if this tag, okay, or the scanner, okay, RFID tag, registers that this is a box, like, then it'll say, okay, send the conveyor belt -2 miles per hour. And then it says else, if it says anything else that's not a box, it's going to bring the scanner to +2, which in our case will be the barrel because it's only a box or barrel that's being dropped. And as we can see, we'll hit that code to run barrel. That's a barrel. So it's moving forward. Now let's see if we can minimize that. So now it's a box. See, it stopped. And now it's going backwards. So that's fun. But we can make this a little better. Okay? So let's go ahead and reset that really fast. So instead of saying else, there's a word called elf. I think I'm saying that right. ELIF. So that's saying like else if. So you can say tag equals, and then you can say barrel. Now, if it reads barrel, it'll go to the right. But the best thing about this elf and conveyor situation, you can go back under sweet mercy, if, else if, and you can say else, and then nothing else with it. You can just do that, enter, and then set conveyors, set target speed 0. So now if it's box, it'll do its thing, but if there's nothing, okay, if it's not registering anything, it'll just stop. Watch. Oh, I forgot something here. I forgot. So this is a good thing right here. So this tries to tell you on line 19, pull back up, buddy. Line 19 is saying else if tag equals barrel, and then it has a little marker right here. And then it's saying, do you possibly mean you want to use this item? So you can put that there, because I did need that. I just overlooked it. Let me reset, hit play, and currently it's not showing anything on here. And now there's a box. It's going -2. There you go, there's one. See, it immediately stopped. Just beautiful. You can even have it set up to where it tells you it's printing. So let me pause. Let me pause it really fast. So what I can do is I can say, hey, I can come back down here, go way out here, and then type print, and see, do those guys, and then print tag. So it should print what it is scanning currently. Oh, see, it's sorry. There you go, pause. So when you're doing something that is claimed, you don't do the quotations because that's stating it's a word or a string. I want it to actually state what it is. So let's see if it'll continue from there. So now it's stating that there is a barrel. And I guess I could have it, set to sleep, put a timer on it so it only does it once. And the timer doesn't, it lets it reset itself. So that's this one for us. We'll go and finish this out. And here we are, the final box. Kind of got a lot more barrels this last time. Yay! So that's the if and else statement. Alright, this is the last guy. This is no longer part of the tutorial. It's kind of giving us, I guess, like a taste of the game, maybe. They say it's not the tutorial. I don't know. I'll go over what I did. I don't think I'm going to do this one from the beginning, mostly because of time. So this is how it originally starts out for you in the code. It's telling you that you need to go 3 meters or be within 3 meters of this rangefinder. So I think the best thing to do would be using the if statement, but honestly, I'm not entirely sure. This is where, you know, my expertise is kind of lackluster. So I kind of did something jank. We'll go over that. So what I've done, let's see, it sets up the time for me. It prints the time. This is the drone itself. It's just telling me like, hey, we're calling this drone now. We're calling this scanner. So you've already been over that. And then we have distance. So the scanner is telling the distance. I have it print the scanner's distance. So I put it as print current distance. And then with a little space there, because that all matters. The plus symbol, we didn't go over that. And then distance. Now I have string here because it originally comes out as an integer because it's a number. Well, printing a string, you can't do a string and an integer together. It has to be a steady string or an integer. It can't be both. So it's one or the other. So I did if statements. I said if distance, or distance from the rangefinder, is less than or equal to 3.2 meters, then the drone's thrusters need to stop, just die. If the distance is, let me move that out of the way. Okay, I'll keep my mouse out of the way because I can. Oh, I can. So if the distance is less than 3.1 meters, 0.00, because that's how the distance is right up here on the top right. It has 3 digits after the end. It was a lot of trial and error for me. It's going to kill my impulse thrusters and return my main thrusters again at 30% thrust, we'll say. I don't know. If the distance is less than 2.9%, to go in and kill my main thrusters and turn on my pulse thrusters negatively, so I want it to go in reverse. And then else if the distance equals, which means it has to equal that amount exactly, 3.0, we'll just disconnect from the code and let the little drone sit there. Else, the drone's thrusters are going to be at 50% thrust. So me reading that and confusing everybody, what actually happened, after it runs down, and then it starts printing the distance of the drone. It'll immediately shoot down here to the else statement, and the drone's thrusters are going to go to 50%. Once I reach 3.2 meters, because the drone will still float forward, it'll cut off, just kill the engines. But once I reach 2.9 meters, because there's a bit of a lag in the code, it'll shoot on my reverse thrusters, and then it'll kind of jump between my reverse thrusters and my forward thrusters to kind of hone itself into that 3.0 meter mark for me to be set there for 5 seconds. So that being said, let's go and reset the time. Hit play and you can watch this horrible masterpiece. So I'm pushing forward. You can see on the top right my meters. I tried to go faster and then things just didn't work out better. It was best for me to go slow currently as of this time. So now I'm going backwards thrust at a slow pace. And there we go. Now I'm at 3.0. And that's it. I finished it. That was my janky way of getting that done. I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. It's definitely a fun little game. I enjoy it. I can't wait for the actual release. So I heard that there's little trophies, I guess, you can find within the code if you code things properly or something. I don't know. I have to look into it. Maybe I'll make another video on it. If you like what you've seen, print your comment down below. And make sure you hit that thumbs up button, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye for now.